Hey guys, Matt here at Ascent. Welcome back to the Ascent Online Studio. Today we've got a nice 30-minute chill, our version of the LSD class, condensed here to the express 30 minutes. You can use this one at night to wind down the day, use it as recovery, athletic mobility, but this will be a great one to help cool the body down, give it some nice rest and recovery. So we're going to start today in child's pose. Go ahead and bring the big toes to touch. If you want to get into the low back, keep the knees closer together. More hip, more shoulder. Take the knees a bit wider and begin to walk yourself out. Palms down. Belly comes down to or between the thighs, and then forehead to the floor or a block. And take your first few moments just to arrive on the mat here. Settle in. Perhaps set an intention for your practice. As you arrive, start to bring some awareness to your breath, breathing slow and steadily in through the nose, and gently engaging the bandhas, lifting the core and the pelvic floor. Another breath or two to arrive, settling in. And then give yourself 5 slow, deep breaths in and out the nose, using the diaphragm to expand the rib cage in all 4 directions. One more big breath in and out. Audible breath from time to time today. When you're ready, roll it forward, finding yourself in a tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, fingers spread nice and wide. And begin to link breath and movement. Inhale, drop belly, look up, cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, cat pose. Moving with your breath here. Adding any additional movements that might suit your practice today. Gently rolling the neck out, maybe swaying the hips side to side. Taking the gaze over the right shoulder and then over the left, adding some side body movements. Give yourself another 5 big rounds of breath here, just to start warming the body up and linking breath and movement. Another breath or two to finish up anything you're working on, and then meeting back in a neutral tabletop. Fire up the core and the pelvic floor, step the left foot back. Square the hips and shoulders, lift the left heel, extend the right hand forward for our bird dog shape. And then lift the body towards the ceiling. Big inhale. Keep the leg lifted, right hand down, left leg sweeps wide. Toes point towards the top of the mat. You're hiding that left foot in line with the knee and the hip. And then in this modified tabletop, take a couple rounds of cat-cow. From our neutral posture, half child's pose, sit the hips back towards that grounded right foot. And then from this neutral tabletop, left hand to the sky. Exhale, reach the left arm behind the right forearm, palm to the sky. Back of the hand finds the floor. You don't have to drop deep into the shoulders here, but you can if it's accessible. Right now, though, this nice long spine is a comfortable twist. Feel free to move with your breath and explore any variations here. Or if you find that nice sweet spot, give yourself a few big rounds of breath. Whatever you choose to work on this side, give yourself 5 big breaths. One more in and out. If you're in this twist, use an inhale to unwind. Take the left hand to the sky, find the floor, and then a couple cat-cows just to reset. Reground through the hands, fire up that left leg, lift it, swing it behind, and then bring the left knee down underneath. Take a cat-cow to reset. And then the right foot will step back, square the hips and shoulders, reground. Lift the right heel, extend the left hand, find your bird dog shape. Good strong foundation. Inhale, grow tall. Couple big breaths here. Leg stays lifted, left hand finds the floor, right leg sweeps wide. Set the foot down, in line with that grounded knee, in line with the hip. And we take a couple rounds of cat-cow here. Couple half child's pose, hinge it back. And then second side, we've got that twist. This time right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread it under and through. And again, second side might feel the same, it might feel different, whether that's mobility on this side or stillness, finding a shape or movement that suits you. Another breath or two to explore, and then 5 big breaths. Unwinding on an inhale. Back to this modified tabletop. 2 cat-cows. Fire up through the hands and the grounded knee. Lift the right leg. Swing that leg behind. Set those knees down underneath. Take a cat-cow to reset. And then step the feet back. We're going all the way down to the belly. Let's get these blocks out of the way. Coming on down, left ear to the floor. Big toes to touch, long body, long spine. A few breaths here in this belly shavasana. Let the left temple find the earth. Softening through the neck, the jaw, the left side of the face. On an inhale, bring the chin to center. Keep the neck relaxed. Lift the body for a locust pose. One more big breath in. Exhale, right ear to the floor. Take a moment to ground to the right temple. Soften through the right side. As you inhale, come through center. One more round, locust pose. As you exhale, come on down. Cactus the arms, elbows in line with the shoulders. Bend the knees 90 degrees. Bring the chin to the floor. Knees together. Windshield wiper the feet left and right, side to side. Allow the low back to release. Legs long behind, Sphinx pose. Walk yourself up onto the forearms. Elbows under shoulders, legs long behind. No pinch in the low back here. You might work through some scapular retraction and protraction just to warm up those shoulder blades a bit more. And then lengthen and try to pull the sternum through the biceps. Again, no pinch in the low back. Opening through the front body. You might rotate the gaze over the right shoulder, gently over the left, moving that stretch into the obliques. And then when you're ready, slide those elbows out, return to the floor, tuck the toes, hands under the ribs, lift the kneecaps, press yourself up to a high plank, and back to a downward facing dog, and start to pedal out those feet, building some length in the hamstrings, in the calves. Maybe rise up onto the balls of the feet, stretch through the arches. Take your time here. Whatever your body's calling for, give it what it needs. 3 more big breaths as you find this downward facing dog and send those hips up to the sky. Big breath in and out. And then bring the knees down to the floor. Sit back to the hips. Take a hero's pose. And slide those legs around. Hips forward, and we're going to roll through some 90-90 hip work. So my heels are going to extend roughly to the outer edges of the mat, toes to the sky. Hands back to the floor is easy version. Hands out in front, medium. Hands to the sky is going to be hard. Let's start with the easy version since we're warming up and chilling out today. Knees to the right. This right shin is going to be in line with the side of the mat. My left shin is going to be in line with the front of the mat, and my knees are in line with my hips. Sitting up tall, we're going to lean the shoulders forward and externally rotate, lifting that left heel off the floor a few times. Sit back, hands frame the right thigh, lift the right shin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk the hands outside of the right thigh and fold down to the forearms, perhaps a block. But find a nice gentle twist here over the right thigh. One more big breath in and out. Start to rise back to the palms. Swing the legs back through center to neutral. Windshield wiper them side to side. Hands can be back or any of our other variations, whatever suits your practice. And then to our left side. Left shin will be in line with the left edge of the mat. Right shin will be in line with the top edge of the mat. Knees in line with hips. Sitting up nice and tall, hands frame the left thigh. Lean forward and rotate that right foot to the sky. 3, 4, 5 times. Sit up tall and pull that left shin up towards you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk the hands outside the left thigh. And find yourself down to forearms or bring yourself to a block. Finding this second twist for 5 real big breaths. One more big breath in and out. And start to walk yourself back to your palms, back to center, hands to the floor. Windshield wiper those knees out, left and right, side to side a few more times. And then hands to hamstrings, slowly roll yourself back, knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze. Maybe rock and roll a little bit left to right, side to side. Hands to the floor, soles of the feet to the floor. A couple gentle rounds of bridge pose, walking the shoulder blades underneath the body. Drive the feet down, get the hips up, and hold for 2 big breaths. Big inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. And then we're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh, palms to the floor. Figure 4 bridge. Inhale, drive the left foot down, get the hips up. Let the right knee get heavy. 2 big breaths. Slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, back to the floor. Right leg to the sky, extend it long, and then bring it back in. Right foot to the floor. Left ankle over right thigh. Reset the foundation, drive the right foot down, get the hips up on your inhale. 2 big breaths. Hips are square, left knee gets heavy. 1 more. Exhale slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, back to the mat. Left leg to the sky, slowly lower it long. Left knee meets right, left foot to the floor. Both knees into the chest, soles of the feet to touch. Lift the shoulders, look through the little triangle shape we've created, and slowly lower the blade edges of the feet to the floor. Reclined butterfly stretch. You might get the hips up, take a bridge here, just to lengthen and set that spine down, and then arms can be by your side, 90 degrees cactus, all the way up overhead, or belly to heart, any arm variation you want. As you land here, let the knees get heavy. 5 really big breaths. One more breath in and out. Hands to the outsides of the thighs. Bring the knees into the chest and rock and roll. Massage out your spine. Coming to a nice easy seat, cross the legs. Get yourself situated in the center of the mat. Sit up nice and tall. Long spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold over those crossed legs. You might gently sway side to side. You might tap nose to knee, and then the other. Or just melt down here and let the hips and the low back release. 2 more big breaths. Walk the hands back towards the shins. Hands come by the hips. Switch the cross of the legs. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. Awkward leg in front perhaps, so take your time to find your way down. Maybe a gentle sway through the low back. Maybe nose to knee. And then the other. Wherever you are, a few more breaths to hit this side. And start to walk the hands back towards the shins. Extend both legs out long. Sit up nice and tall and bring the right knee up into the chest. We're going to take the left hand, thumb facing towards the floor. Reach it across the right shin. Grab the blade edge of the right foot. Sit back, extend. Reach the right hand forward. Inhale, trace it up. Exhale, set the right hand down behind. Left toes flexed back towards us. Long spine. Here for this seated dancing Shiva variation. Or if you've been in my classes before, we call this the go-to. Bending this right knee a little or a lot to protect that hamstring and breathing into this twist stretch combination. 2 more big breaths. Slowly bring the right heel back to the floor. Rotate yourself through center and extend that right leg long. Maybe circle out that hip a little bit. Sit up tall. Pull the left knee into the chest. Right hand over the top, thumb to the floor. Catch the outside blade edge of that left foot. Sit back, extend the left leg. Flex the right toes back towards you. Inhale, left arm traces up. Exhale, set it down behind. Lengthen the spine. Few breaths to arrive. Flexing those right toes towards you, long through the spine, and then 5 big breaths here, just like the other side. Two more big breaths. Slowly come back to center, bring the left heel to the floor. Circle out that hip a little or a lot. And then we're gonna cross those legs. We're gonna roll over those crossed legs to our tabletop. And we're gonna set up for our half pigeon. Left foot steps back, right knee towards right wrist. Slide that right ankle across. And take a few moments. Hips are square, shoulders are square. Stretches out here in the right side of the hip, and we're gonna slowly come down to the forearms. Blocks, if you have them, chest, forehead, or under this hip, if that hip wants to slide out. But hips are square, shoulders are square, and we're gonna take 10 really big breaths here. Adjust as you need as we move through this posture and you get feedback from the body. 3 more big breaths. Last breath in and out. Find the palms, walk yourself back. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, slip the right leg out. Find our tabletop and then circle out that hip. Maybe come back to this half wide leg fold, half tabletop, and move through any of those variations we took earlier in practice. Whatever you need to just reset that right hip. And then we'll move to half pigeon on the other side. So right foot will step back, left knee, left wrist. Slide the left ankle across, and again, that same intentional, deliberate setup. Set the foundation, and then begin to walk yourself down to the forearms or a block, or all the way down to the floor if space allows in that hip. Breath or two to land. This side might feel same or different. Find your edge, and then we're here for 10 big, long breaths. Three more big breaths on this side. Last one. Start to rise to the palms, walk the hands back towards the left shin, tuck right toes, lift right knee, slip the left leg out, and just like the other side, take any of those counter stretches that you need to wake that left hip back up. And when you're ready, sit back to the heels, take your hero's pose for just a moment, pick a hip, roll those legs around, hands to hamstrings, gently roll it back, happy baby. Hands to the outsides of the feet or index and middle finger hook the big toes, and you can rock it side to side. can bring the heels to touch, straighten one or both legs, get into those hamstrings one more time, or just enjoy whatever shape variation in this happy baby that your body is calling for. About 5 more breaths so you can even out right and left side if there's any variation you're taking. Last 2 breaths here. And then release the hands from the feet, bring the knees into the chest, extend the left leg long, gently circle out that right hip. Plug the shoulders into the floor, inhale for length, spinal twist, exhale, left hand guides right knee across the center line of the body, keeping those shoulders square down to the floor, breathing your way into this twist, 5 big breaths. Last breath in and out. Use the left hand, guide yourself back to center. Maybe circle out that right hip one final time and then switch right leg out long, left knee up and in. Take a moment, work that hip. And then as you're ready, plug those shoulders in, lengthen the spine. Exhale into your twist, right hand guides left knee across the body. Spine is long, shoulders are square. Exhale, find depth, 5 big breaths. One more breath in and out. Guide yourself back through center. Circle that left knee out just a little bit. Send it long. Big full body stretch. Point the fingers up overhead. Point the toes. Both knees into the chest. Roll it side to side one final time. Palms to the floor, extend the legs up high, legs up the wall. Watch your big toes as those legs descend towards the floor and down to your shavasana. Taking a moment here to arrive in this final resting posture, letting all the tension that might still be lingering in the body fade away, softening from the tips of the fingers and the toes throughout the whole of the body, and be like melted ice cream. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Take a nice slow breath in, beginning to wake the body back up gently. Stay here on your back or roll to a favored side. Cradle your head in your bicep for fetal pose. Wherever you are, just give yourself a few moments to scan the body. Notice what feels different. And as you're ready, gather your strength and find your way up to a comfortable seat. And we will close out practice as we always do with 3 moments of gratitude. First moment for yourself and your physical body carrying you through the practice. Gratitude for another, or picture somebody in your universe who could use some good vibes. Whoever that is, bring that person to the front of your mind and send something their way. And finally, gratitude from me to you. It's a pleasure and a privilege to lead this practice. So thank you for spending some of your day with me. Namaste.